Major piece of sovereignty news coming out of Canada in the past few days. So a few months ago, a centralized exchange apparently based out of Canada called TradeOgre apparently stopped responding to user requests. For all intents and purposes, the exchange otherwise looked like it had been shut down alongside all of the user funds within the exchange. A lot of people were upset. A lot of people were wondering where their money had gone because the exchange just went radio silent. And then a few days ago, the Bitcoin wallet address associated with this centralized exchange, again, TradeOgre, suddenly had movement from one address to another address, around $50 million. And so within this Bitcoin transaction, there was a message left in the OP_return field. Just to get technical here for a second, Bitcoin being a very singularly focused blockchain network that only really does one thing and one thing only, which is move Bitcoin around. So most teams use this OP_return field to add in a little bit of additional programmability or function. For example, some people might use the OP_return field in order to allow bridging in and out of the Bitcoin network to other blockchain networks. Just a little fun fact. But other people might add in just random bits of data or messages. So in this case, in this TradeOgre movement of $50 million to another wallet address, that OP_return carried one message, which said, these funds have now been seized by the RCMP. RCMP is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force based out of Canada. And by the way, like these reports have been confirmed by the RCMP themselves. The seizure was made by them. And so a lot of people are angry because they kind of stole people's funds. And so the reason the RCMP gave for seizing these funds is because this particular centralized exchange never performed KYC, know your customer, checks on their clients. No personal identifying information was ever given up by users signing up for this exchange, which also means it gave reason for the RCMP to assume all centralized exchanges that don't do KYC is automatically associated with illicit activity. So a lot of people are very angry. It feels like the RCMP just stole other people's funds. And I kind of get that. Just because you don't do KYC does not mean you're a criminal. Privacy is normal. We have to normalize that. But that's not the point of why I started recording today. The point of this message is, if you are a crypto user in 2025 and you still hold the majority of your assets in centralized exchanges in 2025, I kind of don't feel sorry for you. The whole point of crypto is self-sovereign money. You owning the private keys to your own assets. So if you hold your assets in centralized exchanges, you're at the risk of those funds being seized in case the exchange gets shut down by state actors. You're at risk of the owner of the centralized exchange going to jail in China, or you're at the risk of that particular owner of the centralized exchange dying in a boating accident. So yeah. Get your money off of centralized exchanges and into your own self-custodial wallet. Otherwise, you're missing the whole point. That's it for now. Peace.